Hi guys, it's Megawatt Mandy, and today I'm at Bedgebury. Bedgebury Forest is a little forest in Kent. It's on the Kent and Sussex border. I grew up around here. I haven't lived here now for many years, but as a kid grew up visiting Bedgebury. They didn't have any bike trails here. I'm far too old for that to have been a thing, so it's really nice when I visit the family to come back and have a little ride around the trails. It's a red trail. It's not the hardest of red trails. It's just nice and fun and flowy through the trees. So I hope you enjoy the video, and if you're in the area, come along, check it out, see what you think. So today we're at Bedgebury. The red single track trail starts at the top of the hill, so we have to ride up this fire road to get to the start. This fire road is two-way, and it comprises the family trail, which bizarrely is graded blue here, but the blue trail here is just fire roads. So it's a bit of a climb, and then we'll be at the start of the single track. So this is the start of the single track. It's just under a mile to climb up here from the car park. It's a red trail. It's not the hardest of red trails. It's relatively easy. I would say it's more of a blue with a few red graded features thrown in, but everything is rollable, or you can bypass bits you don't like. But it's quite a nice little fun trail. We've got some rocky step things coming up here. Roll straight down them. Don't run over any squirrels. It's a short, sharp climb, this. It's fine when it's dry. In the winter it can be really muddy and slippy. So each section of Bedgebury is named. This one's called Dad's Army. The first bit that we've just been through is called Genesis. I believe this bit of trail's had some work done to it. We've rebuilt bits of it. And this bit's called Show of Hands. This bit I'm fairly certain was closed when I last came through. That was back in April. Right, this bit of trail in front of us is the only bit of black graded trail here. I'm not sure why it's graded black. They have done some work to this. It's quite difficult to climb up those rocks, and I won't ride up it even on an e-bike. To the left there, you used to be able to climb up quite easily. It looks like people have managed to do it, so let's see if we can climb up here. Yep, so we made it up. See here, this is the entry. It probably doesn't look very steep on camera. It certainly looks much more intimidating as you approach it, and I've never been confident enough just to ride up it, although with the e-bike I should easily manage it, because people on normal bikes do, but never quite done it. But anyway, this is a piece of black graded trail called Holby. Not quite sure why it's graded black, but here it is, and you can make your own mind up. rollers up there, easily rollable. Berms are quite loose today. It's very dry and gravelly. Second drop, again, rollable. Some little rollers here. And that's it. That's what Bedgebury class as a black graded trail. I'll leave you to make your own minds up about that one. Not quite sure what this bit's called. It appears to be missing the sign. Ah, now my Garmin's telling me that I've got a sharp bend coming up on Jurassic Park. So maybe this bit's called Jurassic Park. Haven't seen any dinosaurs. Be quite cool if we did though. This bit's called Wander's Trail. I don't think that's what it used to be called. I'm sure it was something else previously, I have to check. It's very tight and narrow through here. The trees seem very close together. So generally take it quite easy through here. Don't want to clip my handlebars. So this section is called Deer Stalker. It's quite overgrown. So you come out onto the fire road, and the fire roads obviously provide a link between the bits of red route single track. Beautiful day in the forest today. Blue sky, sun shining. I love riding the bike when the weather's like this. Just makes everything better. Oh, chasing a duck. That's the first. They fly quick, don't they? So this section of trail is called Helter Skelter. Also looks like it's had some work done to it since I was last here. Having to be a bit careful because this loose stuff is quite slippy. Right, this bit's called Cardiac. It's quite a steep climb, short, sharp climb. Horrible if you're not on an e-bike. I'm going to be lazy though. Stick it and boost. It's quite loose. In the winter this gets quite muddy. It's quite rutted. A few roots. So actually as climbs go, if you're not on an e-bike certainly it's quite a challenge. Nice bench at the top for a rest if you need it. This bit's called Sweetness. Again, it's quite overgrown. Some little roller things, jumps if you can jump them. This section's called Gloomy Wood. I quite like the first bit of this section. It's not gloomy at all. A few rollers. And now it gets gloomy. And this bit's called Mosquito Coast. So this bit's called Prevaricators Pass? Prevaricators? I don't know if I pronounced that right or not, but it's got some funny name. Something or other's Pass. Prevaricators. Oh, no idea how you pronounce that. This bit is, I guess, a continuation of Prevaricators Pass. I didn't see a name on that sign. Ah, the little rock steps into 5 ways. Now, I quite like 5 ways. There's some little rollers through here that I like. Little rock drop there. Only tiny little things they've got on this trail. But here we go. Here are the jumps. Quite like them. It's nice to session them sometimes. Been here with my brother and my nephew, playing around on them. And then suddenly it gets slightly more techie because you end up with these rock garden things just kind of chucked into the trail. And this one I can never do. I can never get around this corner properly. So this bit in front is called Ikea. And there's quite a hefty rock garden on the right up here, which I don't ride. You can see that. My nephew's tried it. I don't know if he's managed it now. So it's quite a hefty rock garden. You could easily get your wheels stuck in the ruts there and end up going over the bars, which I don't want to do. And as all of you who've watched my videos before know, I'm a wimp. Come across another rock garden. Just kind of out of nowhere. And now we go into Magic Carpet. Deliverance. Oh, this one's been cut. That's good. They need to go around and cut all of them. I expect they'll get around to it. Another rock garden. It's odd because the last couple of sections, or towards the end, there's a few sections towards the end, suddenly get a bit more challenging, if you like, in terms of little rock gardens and things popping up. Whereas the first part of this single track is really quite tame, I think. I'm not sure it's quite deserving of this red grade. Now, my sister-in-law fell off here at this bit, and because of that, it's always kind of made me nervous to ride it, so I don't really need to. This bit is called Fiberglass Trees. Shame there's not a better run into that little drop there. It'd be nice to kind of jump off it onto a nice little bit of down rather than be chucked straight into a corner. But the trail is what the trail is. And this section is called Not So Pointless. Again, I think they've done some trimming, which is good. Oh, it looks like they're trimming down here. So whilst I'm pleased they're trimming them, I'm not pleased that we can't do this bit of trail. Maybe I'll see if I can come back and do this later when they've finished. So we'll follow the diversion and see where that takes us. So we go straight into Strava Goose, having had to avoid Thirsty Turkey. This bit can be a bit dicey in the wet because of all the roots and the ruts. It's alright in the dry though. I'm not sure you can even see them very well with the dappling effect of the sun through the trees, but trust me on it. And we're opposite the start, Genesis, where it all began. There is another section before we finish though, called Cake Run. So we head back down the fire road that we rode up to start with, onto Cake Run to complete the red loop. And this bit's called Cake Run. It's the last bit of the red single track. You could easily loop this actually by coming back up the fire road. And having another go. Unfortunately, this is really narrow there, which is such a shame because it's got a nice little rock drop after it. But I'd never get through there at speed with my bars. And going through there slowly and trying to go up a little drop is a bit pointless. It's a shame because I have gone through there in the past when I had a smaller bike and smaller bars. Still had to struggle a little bit, I have to say, to get the bars through. Another little rock garden. We're at the end. That's the end of the single track. So the end of the single track comes back out onto this fire road that we climbed up originally. There is a blue trail here as well, but the blue is all fire road. So I am now going to go and ride it. I'm not sure if any of it will make it to the video because there's not much to see, to be honest. But it's a nice little scenic trip through the forest, and if I come across that bit of trail that was shut, hopefully it'll be open again. So yeah, let's see how we get on doing the blue. So this is Thirsty Turkey, the trail we couldn't ride because it's closed, and if you can hear a guy strimming, and unfortunately that's why it's closed. I don't suppose it'll be open quick enough for me to ride it. It's a nice bit of trail, it's a bit of a shame. Anyway, continue on the blue and see what happens. There's a random tree again. Everywhere I go there's a random tree. Perhaps I'm going to turn around and look at the random tree. There's the random tree. And amongst the majority of the others that have been cut down. Really odd the way they do that. So that's the bike trails done. Lap of the red, excluding unfortunately, I can't remember what the name of it is now, but that one that was closed because they were strimming it. I've ridden around the blue trail as well, which is all fire road, so I may stick a few clips of that into this video, or maybe just some screenshots, but it's nothing special, it's just a fire road trail. It's quite scenic, quite pretty. I'm guessing it's graded blue because for a family fire road trail it's actually quite hilly. You wouldn't want to be dragging little kids around it because there are some fairly hefty hills for little legs. But it's been a nice ride. I enjoy riding the trails here. And we're nearly back at the centre. So that's Bedgebury done. Did a lap of the red trail. Unfortunately that section of trail wasn't reopened in time for me to ride it. It's a bit of a shame because it's quite nice. But the rest of the trail, nice enjoyable day. The trails are slightly overgraded I think for what they are. There's nothing much on them. There are a few little rocky bits and a few features which would be considered red graded, but overall it's quite a nice, relatively flat, relatively easy flowy trail through the woods, through the forest. Had an enjoyable ride on that, and then went and rode the blue trail, which, as I was explaining earlier, is just fire road. Again, it's a nice scenic route through the forest, and enjoyed that too. So it's been a good day at Bedgebury. If you happen to be in the Kent area and you're passing, stop off, give it a go. It's a nice fun place to ride. There's a nice cafe here as well. I come here fairly often when I visit family, so it's become quite a nice place for me to ride. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.